What up, y'all? Thanks for tuning in to No Flag Radio. I'm your host, P. Getting to it. Today we talking about the fakery behind Donald Trump saying he's going to close the southern border of the United States next week due to migrant caravan people. All right. So the way I want to frame this is in a few ways. First, I want to explain that I believe it has a political root to it as to why he's even doing this or proclaiming this. I believe it has a corporate root as to why I believe he's even saying this. And I also want to touch on the fact that I believe that it's him wanting to revisit certain energies and patterns from his political idol, Ronald Reagan. And then I'm going to get into what we should be thinking about it and how we should be responding to this. So, to my point, I say that it's something that's a political move in the aspect that Donald Trump is trying to become president in 2020. And the states that are on the border between America and Mexico are Texas, New Mexico, Arizona, and California. Right? Texas is a red state, as they call it, a Republican state. New Mexico is like a wall state, or you never really know which way they're going to go. You never really know how they're going to sway in terms of the bipartisan, Republican or Democrat. Arizona is a Republican state. And California is a Democratic state. So out of 4 states, we got for sure 2 Republican states that have been Republican for a long fucking time, right? That are kind of just in the bag for him. He's got those in the bag, but he won California and he won New Mexico. Why? Because look, in the last election, Hillary won the popular vote, if I'm not mistaken. I believe that was what happened. I believe Hillary Clinton won the popular vote, but he lost the popular vote. And he won the popular vote. And that's just pretty much it. Yeah, she won the popular vote by 2.8 million votes, just for y'all to have that number. She won the popular vote, and he lost. He wants to win it all. He don't want to just win in the electoral college because that ain't a real win to him, right? So he wants that kind of vote. He wants to be liked. On some homecoming king bullshit, right? Some pageantry shit behind this shit, right? Hey, Afro Troop, I see you, boy. ADOS sites assemble. Haha. Yo, that's your running sentiment. I see you, man. So he wants to win the popular vote. He want to win like that, right? And if he were to win states like California and New Mexico, that would basically have him sew up the whole border. He would have the whole Mexico-American border sewed up. Like, those people would be like, yeah, you are doing good for America because you stopped that whole those migrant animals from coming over here. This is what they're going to be on when it happens, or if it happens, and when he wins like this, or if he wins via this mechanism. This is what they're going to be saying. Yeah, you helped. Because, white supremacy society, they always need something to go rah, rah, rah about and something to rally behind, right? That's what makes white supremacy society move. They're, like I said, their predominant society is Neanderthal, rhesus monkeys. They need constant stimuli in order to feel like they're connected to the universe. They can't just exist in the universe and feel connected. They have to be doing extreme shit, parasailing, fucking hang gliding, you know what I'm saying? All kind of weird, crazy shit so they can feel like they are living, right? But, so it's that aspect. He wants to put a political kind of nail in the coffin for his re-election. He's going for that, right? That's the first aspect I want y'all to look into, or just consider. Second aspect I want y'all to consider is that this is a corporate kind of move, right? And I brought that up in my first video talking about the migrant caravan, that this is a corporate move, right? That these people coming into America are requested. I brought that up, okay? These migrants already know why they're coming here, right? We saw this whole, it's not just because shit is fucked up where these people are coming from, and then okay, they're gonna come over here. No, that's really half of the answer that they try to sell in America. They're trying to sell it as, oh, the shit is so fucked up where these people are at in Central America and these various countries. So they're gonna, again, gives them something to rah America is so great about. That's for the ego of the uncritically thinking American, right? But I gave examples in my first video that I put up about this migrant caravan, that when the news crews were interviewing these migrants years ago, 2014, 2012, interviewing these people, because this has been happening. Just to refresh y'all, this has been happening. They've been making this trek from Central America to America for a long time. It ain't just happened last year, right? When they were making these treks years ago, 2014-ish, years ago, what was happening? The news crews was getting out there. It was getting in people's faces, and it wasn't no hostility. They was getting in people's faces like, so why the fuck are you coming over here? What are you doing? I'm coming to get a job. Just like that. All right. There was no whole, I just came from this fucked up ass place, yo. Where I just came from is fucked up. Y'all see me, I'm looking fucked up. I got blood on my shirt, blood on my shoes. I'm looking fucked up. I just came from some fucked up shit. I'm fucked up. If somebody just came from a really fucked up situation, really traumatic situation, and you put a camera in their face, the first thing coming out their mouth gonna be, I just came from some fucked up shit. It ain't gonna be, so why you walking through this motherfucker? Why you coming here? Come and get a job. It ain't gonna be just as get a job. You know what I'm saying? These motherfuckers were calm as fuck if you were to dig up some of that footage, right? So understand that aspect of it too. And I say in my other video, if y'all look into that, I also said, look, we saw stripped down military vehicles that were escorting people. This wasn't no just rabble of people. When we talk about these 4,000 people up to, last year when this started making headlines, these people were being escorted. This shit looked like some chaperone shit. This is a chaperoned, well-handled event. It wasn't a shitty diaper in the house. It was a bunch of babies and not a shitty diaper. It looked like in the crowd. Everybody was happy. Wasn't no crying babies, you understand? It wasn't no motherfuckers is just calmly walking and not a shitty diaper in the motherfucking crowd. Not a tear in nobody's eyes. All right? That means something. When you're talking about a migrant caravan and all of this shit, these people are being escorted. I want y'all to not miss that. This is somebody's military paid for that escort. Somebody's corporation paid for that. I want to say America is that corporation, and America is moving in the interest of the corporations who supported Trump. I mean, that want to see him in office or whatever. And this is a migratory workforce that's been requested by these corporations, and Trump is going to make sure they get where they got to get to. All right. Also, just notice, I want you to pick up on a few things as to why I say it's a corporate handled and a corporately orchestrated thing. Notice that we don't see no motherfucking type of massacre at the border. See that? We've went months since we first started hearing about the migrant caravan, and since they started making it into a media frenzy and frenzying it up in the media, we haven't heard of no altercations, no confrontations, no combat with these unruly so-called Ecuadorian, Guatemalan, El Salvadorian, Nicaraguan people That's Ecuadorian. El Salvadorian people walking over through Mexico to get over here. And the border patrol sitting there. They unleashed about 3,000, maybe more, border patrol motherfuckers with guns. These motherfuckers got big ass guns. And they sitting at the border. It ain't been no massacre, no type of shooting, no type of bodies. You know, I mean, on my channel, we're going to think this shit through. If it ain't no bodies dropping, if we don't see no bodies, I see a problem. These motherfuckers is at the border. They got guns that can shoot miles. So when these people got guns that can shoot miles, you know, those motherfuckers is just walking up to the border. They just walking up to the border. It ain't no issue. And you also don't see no footage of people turning the fuck around. You notice that we always see the footage of people walking to the border, but we don't see the footage of nobody ever for all these months. We ain't never seen no photos or no pictures, no live footage of people actually walking back away from the border after having been turned around by the border patrol. You notice that? Like I said, it's a corporate scheduling of these motherfuckers to make it over here. No massacre. Motherfuckers make it to the border. Motherfuckers could give you a warning shot from a mile away to get your ass back to where the fuck you come from, right? This is the reality of the shit, which makes it so stupid that people actually believe this shit is what they're telling them in the media. But no, these people are able to get up right up in the face, 1 foot away from the coast, from the motherfucking border patrol, 1 foot away from these motherfuckers. And what do? They be like, I will come on in now. We're going to push you in the jail. You know what I'm saying? You see what this is? I told you they're going to be rounding these people up. Not sending them away. They're going to round them up. They're going to round them up for the corporate entities that requested them. They're going to put them in a little jail. They're going to hold them for a little bit. And they're not going to lock them up in Mexico. They're going to lock them up in America. So now they're in America's jurisdiction. They're going to be here. And then what I say was going to happen. We're going to see these corporate trucks pulling up. Walmart going to pull up in their 18-wheeler like, yo, hop the fuck in. Yo, you got my work, right? You got my people, right, that I came to get, right? You got them? Cool. Drop them in. Go on and get in the back of the truck. And y'all are going to be working for Walmart. We got y'all apartments. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? We got y'all apartments and shit. We driving off. We got y'all up. Here come Target. Target got their 18-wheeler. They going to pull up. Y'all go ahead and jump in the back. We got y'all's Target employment going on. We got y'all's apartments. Y'all are going to be, you know what I'm saying? We got space for y'all. And like I did the math for y'all as far as Texas, you know, the 4,000 number they was given supposedly has grown to this big number or whatever. Like I said, 4,000 people, that ain't shit. Texas, we got a lot of space. We got a lot of motherfucking land out here. It's a lot of everything out here in terms of space. That ain't shit. That's less than the smallest town in Texas. 4,000 people. That's pennies. All right? Or pennies. I'm saying that's a pittance of numbers of people. That ain't nothing. Texas, man, I'm telling y'all got to understand, no matter what kind of numbers they throw, we got so much space in Texas. You can't get from one part of the city to another part of the city without driving at least 15 minutes. You can't even go ride on your enemy that's 15 minutes away in another part of your city without having to drive at least 15 minutes. And man, I got to go ride we're going to go ride on this motherfucker tonight, man. I don't give a goddamn. We're going to get him tonight. Shit, man. Are you sure you want to go ride on the motherfucker now, man? Shit, we got to eat, man. I got to bring a picnic basket, dog, because I can't go all this drive without no food. I can't ride on an empty stomach. Got to get my picnic basket. Got to get some drink. Got to get some smoke or something, man. I got to have my mind right. And I sure ain't finna go this whole long ass way. All these hills and valleys and shit we got out here. Well, I'm not finna drive this whole damn way. You know what I'm saying? On an empty stomach. This is how it is in Texas, man. This is how it is in Texas, man. Just letting you know. Mass scholar, you paint a grim picture. Yo, man. Street scholar, man. What do we know? What do we know but the painted mad morbid? It get morbid at times, all right? It get morbid. It gets solemn at times, Mr. ADOS, Afro Troop. You know what I'm saying? So it's shit like that. So as these people get rounded up, they're going to be here to displace black workers. They're going to be cheap labor for these corporations where black people can't get these, you know, even the meagerest jobs. It's going to get kind of hectic out here. Okay, I don't want y'all to sleep on that shit. But the Mexicans have tunnels like a motherfucker and are set enough up in America where they own houses and business and the motherfucking cartel. Oh yeah, we're gonna get into the cartel. We're gonna talk about that shit. You know what I'm saying? So as I go on, the other point I brought up is that Trump has a political idol known as Ronald Reagan when he was alive. Ronald Reagan is Donald Trump's political idol. He said it over and over again. He's ran on that. And I want y'all to frame this whole border closing situation as him trying to revisit the energy that Ronald Reagan was channeling in his relationship to Central America at that time. We're going to get a little deep. Okay? Just for energetic reasons, I see this as being something that Trump is going to be trying to play into, right? We can look at it like this. So in the 80s, there was a little thing called the Iran-Contra scandal or whatever as they call it, right? If y'all remember that. For anybody that was, alive in the 80s, y'all remember that, right? And Reagan had all these relationships with these countries in Central America by way of that. I don't want y'all to sleep on it. If y'all want the condensed version of it, I can give you a kind of a condensed version of it. What happened was, supposedly, not supposedly, when we saw it, Ronald Reagan, his vice president, George Bush, who was former CIA, but he was his vice president at this time. You got people like Oliver North. And in particular, Oliver North is who they used as the whipping boy to say, you're the bad guy. But they all were in on this shit. There was a little plot that they set up, basically, for Iran, which is supposedly a country that was under a weapons embargo at this time. Weapons embargo just means that you're not supposed to have weapons because you're just so bad that if you get weapons, you're bad. But I'm a guy that believes every country should have all the weapons, everything to blow everybody to bits. So when it comes time to come to the table, ain't nobody on no bullshit. It's like, all right, we're at the table. We can all blow everybody to bits. Let's put our shit on safety and let's talk. You know what I'm saying? You are more inclined to talk business when everybody can blow everybody to bits in the room. All right, so the issue was that Oliver North was selling weapons to Iran through this weapons embargo and over this weapons embargo shit, right? And supposedly they say that he was using this money that he generated to fund the Contras. The Contras are this, just basically run a trap house out of motherfucking Nicaragua at this time. And they are, in my ideation, I always seen it as, it was them against the Sandinistas, who were supposed to be this leftist government organization, as they call it a leftist organization that was trying to bring communism into the Western Hemisphere. Which, I just see it as some motherfuckers that was trying to compete for who was going to be the biggest dope dealer, because both the Sandinistas and the Contras was dealing dope. All right. And that whole Iran-Contra thing, it wasn't nothing about no communism. It wasn't nothing about, they try to say, because the Soviet Union was giving weapons to the Sandinistans, and that means that they were trying to encroach and trying to breach on the government form that's going on in the Western Hemisphere. And they're trying to plant communism by way of their weapons dealings and all. It really wasn't no weapons dealing that the Soviet Union was dealing with the Nicaraguan Sandinistas. What was happening is that they gave them some attack helicopters, a couple of helicopters, and then Reagan used that as a way to say, yeah, now we got something to say. Yeah, they're trying to bring communism. Nah, they just gave them a couple of fucking helicopters, if you want to be precise. Some attack helicopters, whoop-de-damn-do, right? They haven't had any dealings with Russia for a long time. Now, just recently, they got some little space program shit out there, some little postal working system thing going out there, some alliance with Russia through that, and some space but it ain't nothing. Hey, man, that's just like about 4 years ago. They ain't really hitting on nothing out there. It ain't shit. It's just some more fakery by white supremacist society. They always try to say this thing that Russia is a big enemy of America, and they try to run that shit. It's some old Cold War shit that they were stuck on in the 80s, and Reagan kind of wanted to go out in his second term. This was the second term when this Iran-Contra shit was going on, just to make the roundabout point. Reagan wanted to go out on a hoorah, he did something good for America. He went out as a hero, all right? But it all blew up. It all exposed itself to be what the fuck it was for real, which was a big cocaine smuggling operation. That's the definition that I attribute to the shit. I don't see it as the communists is coming. Nah, I see it as a bunch of white boys running planes from all these places that we talking about. That's the migrant caravan. We talking about Nicaragua. We talking about El Salvador. We talking about Guatemala. We talking about Honduras. All these places. White boys running planes out of these places with coke and bringing them into Texas, Louisiana, Arkansas, California, bringing planes. What up, Niche? What up, Miss Lady? You know what I'm saying? They bring in dope. Y'all might remember this guy, Barry Seals. He was a high-ranking snitch for the DEA, but he, people try to act like black folk bought all these guns and dope to America, and to quote the brother, motherfucking from the Potter's house, TD Jakes, man, crime is an import to the black community, and there's no other truer statement than that. Crime is an import to the black community. This guy Barry Seals, before he turned snitch and informant and all of this shit for the DEA, this motherfucker, he had all kinds of planes, multiple planes. He's from Louisiana. So any of y'all from Louisiana in my chat, y'all know what this is about. Y'all have heard of this guy. Y'all heard of Barry. Y'all know this guy owned fleets of planes in Louisiana, planes in Arkansas, all kind of planes. And when they caught his ass, making these runs from Nicaragua, making these runs from El Salvador, Ecuador, making all these different runs with dope on the plane, making these runs from Guatemala with dope on the plane and pulling it off and landing it. You know what I'm saying? What happened? He snitched out everybody. He started to cooperate, basically, was what happened. And upon his cooperation, they bugged his plane. They put trackers on his plane. They put these encryptors on his plane. And they got footage of this guy with the Sandinistas loading dope onto his plane while he's a DEA informant. All right. So I want y'all to watch this. He's a DEA informant, and the Sandinistas loading dope on his plane. The bad guys, right? Supposedly the bad guys. Huh. Tell me why we got somebody named Oscar Blandon. The brother Rick Ross got brought down by Blandon in his testimony when he turned a confidential informant. Blandon, he's Contra all the way, pro-Contra, moving dope for them. So tell me why we in the United Snakes of America, they're running all this shit like, oh, there's a conflict going on in Central America. We need to stop these two. We need to stop one side. One side is bad. You talking all of this shit, but neither of you, when you got your snitches in the operation, none of you gave a damn about the smuggling of cocaine, because that's what came out of all of this shit. None of you gave a damn about the smuggling of cocaine from either side into the cities of motherfucking America, where we at, in the city. And the shit is devitalized and tearing down all around us. You understand? None of you gave a damn. So that's why I say this whole Iran-Contra shit, it was targeted toward the black community, toward the cities, where we suffering already, where we had all this shit going on. They didn't give a good goddamn. All right, to be so governmental and DEA, yeah, y'all didn't give a damn. Y'all was about making sure the coke came in and fucking us up and saying that we had a time. That was during Reagan's era, okay? Now, let's flash forward to 2019. Instead of the president knocking on Central America's door talking about, I need that dope. I need some dope so I can do this. So I can do this war on drugs. Yo, I need to do this war on drugs, Central America. We can't have a war on drugs and a war on crime and all this shit unless we have the drugs and the crime. We'll give y'all some guns. We'll barter some guns for dope and all that shit. We'll do all that. We'll give y'all some money. We'll pay y'all for some dope. We'll do what we got to do. We'll bring our smugglers through, our white smugglers with airplanes. We'll bring them through to make sure the dope come in. But we can't have a motherfucking war on crime because we're trying to get black people. We can't have our war on crime and our war on black people, Nicaraguans. We can't do this shit without your dope because we don't got the good dope. Y'all got the good dope. We can't have a just say no campaign without the kids having something to say no to. You know what I mean? Bring in your dope. We need your dope. All right. That was what Reagan was knocking on Central America's door about. Flash forward today, 2019, Trump is knocking on Central America's door talking about, look, we need workers that are going to be able to displace black people. We need cheap labor for these corporations that voted me in, and they're asking for it. They want these people to come on in. They're asking where are their workers, and that's what's happening. That's what we're looking at. You understand? So that's what I mean when I say Trump wants to kind of revisit those various energy centers on the map that his idol visited. Because white supremacist society and the Neanderthal rhesus monkey beings, they understand about energy centers and paying homage to energy centers on the map known as the universe, the globe of the world. They understand about that. They've learned enough from us to know that. You'll get a little bit of the energy conversations on my channel too. You know what I mean? I speak that. You know what I mean? So they know this. And I wouldn't be surprised, you know, y'all don't be surprised that after years after Trump has his little election or whatever, however this shit's going to play, and I'm going to kind of get into that. But don't be surprised when we start seeing shit like flop houses full of these Guatemalans and Hondurans and El Salvadorians. Don't be surprised we start seeing flop houses where they, you know, just all along the border of the American-Mexico border, where the motherfucker's job at Walmart just didn't work out. You understand? The motherfucking job at Target didn't work out. The motherfucking job at all these corporations that, you know, decide to put these people up, it just didn't work out. And so they fucked up out there in the game. We're going to see along that border, it's going to be some crazy shit. And then you're going to start seeing shit like the Latino coons, you know what I mean? They're going to come out. You know, they're going to come out and make a play for white supremacy's approval and be like, hey, we need to brush those Central Americans off of the border. Get those are basura, malo. That's malo basura, Latinos. Malo Guatemala. Malo Honduran. I mean, they're gonna play the coon role. Then you're gonna have the bleeding heart Latinos. They're gonna try to get black people to try to agree with the fact that, hey, look, these people are disenfranchised. We need to try to find a way to give them a place to stay, a place to do this and that, and how to be this and that. Right? They're gonna try that, right? So just expect that. Expect that. They're going to try to get the goons to get on, the black people to get online and, oh, yeah, we need to be out there marching. We need to be out there marching to save the flop house motherfucking Central Americans. And the goons are going to line up. We know this. We know this is how they're going to do shit. Right? But on to the point about how I think we should be thinking this out. Okay, that's fact, but they came up in the black neighborhoods and other black folks helped them knowing the white man was trying to replace. The only thing we actually thought they would have some balance. Yeah, that ain't how they doing shit. They not playing with no balance, Queen B. They want step-ups. They want to use our backs wholly and only to come up while we get forgot about. They don't care that we built the whole country. Everybody wants us wiped out of the country that we built. so they can act like we never happened. That's what we're going through in America right now, Miss Queen Bee. Don't nobody want to fuck with us. And I don't know, in my neighborhood, like I said, I didn't have nobody, black people in my neighborhood. So I can't really speak from the point of, having Latinos in my neighborhood. But okay, I mean, you might know Queen Bee. But I don't get that friendly vibe from them. I see the envy in their eyes. I see the, damn, I want to be black in their eyeballs. I can see that look in their eyes. I'm very perceptive. I already know the energy. I already be on it. I'll be like, yeah, that's that bullshit. I can see it in your eyeballs. Right? You can't play me. Huh? Yes, I'm in Southwest. Okay. Southwest what? Southwest America, I guess. You in the South, Queen Bee? Is everybody here in the South? Alpha Troop, where you from, bro? You out here? Texas? I think Niche out here in Texas somewhere. Whatever. So I'm saying, back to my point. I want to just kind of touch on how I think we should be seeing this. If you go through with this, shutdown of the border shit. First of all, the first thing that clicked in my mind when I saw this come across the blip this morning, I was like, okay, shutting down the border, what the fuck does that really mean? Like, y'all already got motherfuckers on the border that ain't doing shit, but only warmly embracing the people that come across the border. All the babies have not a shitty diaper in the house. It's really a family reunion type of scenario going on at the border right now. I mean, you're already grabbing these people up. You might put them in a little cage for a little bit, but then you disperse them into the society. We're already seeing it's a very soft padding, soft handling going on down there. There's no massacre that's happened. We haven't heard of any massacre. So it's like, all right, see the bullshit. So when they're talking about shutting a border down, what does that entail? I couldn't imagine what it would look like. But the fact that they're talking about it, it brings me to present the point and bring the question. Are they trying to keep people out? Or are they trying to keep the people that are in already to stay in? Like, I mean, that question went through my mind. Like, okay, because a border, I don't know what that shutdown means. I don't know what that means. Does it mean that you're going to remove everybody from the border? What does it mean? I mean, it just doesn't make sense to me. Now, if there was an instance where, let's say they, for some reason, tried to lock everybody out from leaving America, that's what I'm thinking about. Then we might have something to think about. If they said, look, we're just going to lock down the southern border to where nobody is leaving America, and we're going to lock down the northern border to where nobody can come into America from Canada, because whatever America say Canada going to do, they're buddies and friends. And Mexico is also buddies and friends with America. Don't forget, they're G20 partners, they're trade partners. That's the reason why they've been allowing these people to walk all these miles, and it's been no sort of uproar from Mexico, right? What would that look like? Motherfuckers could only leave the United States on the coast. The East Coast to West Coast. That's what it would look like. But it's just that, I kind of frame it like that. But yeah, don't forget, y'all, Mexico is down with this. I just want to say that was kind of my point I wanted to get to, is just, how it would look like. But, I guess I want to get to one point. Then I will touch on Mexico real quick. You also know that, in terms of, social frenetic and social chaos or whatever, the history, and I brought this up before, of white supremacist society is to start harming black people and getting on some shit like that, right? And I did in my video, white looter shooters. All of the white supremacists came to my video and started downing that video, but it's just the truth in it. It's the truth, man. They know that when tragedies and calamities of all sorts start, they try to find ways to gratuitously go kill black people. So don't y'all forget, on my channel, we turn into white looter shooters on my channel. If shit go left or shit go sideways, or shit go side, as I say, right? That shit go side. You know what I mean? we turn to white looter shooters because they turn to black looters. Or you're looting, you're taking the TV, we're gonna shoot you. Or you can't find your way to the boat that's over there, we're gonna shoot you. It's like that. This is how they moving in the society, y'all. I don't want y'all to think it's me being morose about anything, but this is how they move. And you know, you come to my channel to hear how I'm gonna kick it. I know we're in an Aquarius age. I know we're about to get into Aquarius age. And, you know, it's the age of information, but my mind is already, I've been in the Aries age. We're all about war. You touch me, I fuck you up. You blow up my mama house, I'll blow up your mama house. You do this, and in the Aries age, I think we're like about a few thousand years away from the next Aries age. All the shit that I'm saying right now, if we were in the Aries age, this shit would be completely acceptable. Everything that I'm saying, right? Everything that I talk about would be acceptable, right? But it's not at this point. So understand that element.
What's up, man?
Hold on one second, y'all.
What's going on?
I'm doing a live. I'm doing a cast.
Okay. You have your ID with you? Guess your license too. You all right?
I'm doing a cast. I'm doing a live.
Okay.
Yeah. So, like I said, those things will be kind of in play. Right? If y'all want to frame your thought around it, right? So, I think of what other points I want to bring. Oh yeah, Mexico. Think about Mexico in this regard. So, if Mexico is so-called an enemy or a friend of America, think about it like this. Think of it in terms of a trap house. Let's say you own a trap house. I'm gonna give y'all an example, because they're acting like these migrants that are coming from Central America are not known, and there's no reason why they're coming here, and people don't know. Well, think of it like this. Think of it like this. Let's say you run a trap house, right? You got a trap house in the front, a big house in the front, and then there's a yard that you got to walk through, and there's a little trap house in the back. I'm just going to frame this up for y'all like this. Let's say your trap house in the back, that's the trap house that got all the dope, all the guns. The trap house in the front, that's got, you know, you got your man at the front with the guns, he in the front with his guns and all that. And you got maybe got some dope or whatever. Now, let's say one day, all of a sudden, somebody from the trap house in the front don't stop a big rush of dope fiends just running through the trap house in the front and making it across the yard to the little trap house in the back. Right? Isn't that a suspicious thing? Wouldn't you wouldn't put up a fence and say, hey, I'm going to put up a fence and say, this is a symbolic, a fence is just a symbolic gesture. You wouldn't put up a border and say, hey, this is a border. Ah, rah, rah. What would you say? You would tell your people in the big trap house, why are you letting these people walk from the big trap house, go all the way? Why are you letting these fiends walk across all the yard to get to the little trap house where I'm at with all the dope and the guns? Why would you allow that? That's what you would say. You wouldn't say I'm going to put up a border. You wouldn't say you know what I'm saying? If it's somebody that you mess with, and we know the U.S. is G20 partners with Mexico. We know this, right? So why would you, you know what I mean? Why would you do that, right? It's my logic behind it. Right, so it makes sense. So understand that. Would anybody do that? I know I wouldn't do it personally. So just look at the logic. Assess the logic behind what's being sold to us. You know what I mean? It doesn't have clarity in the mind of a person who's a thinking individual. You know what I'm saying? Especially not within the black thinking community. All right? The black community of thinkers. That's not how we do things. All right? I wanted to bring that up. So we have no friends. Yeah. The man has showed up. It's just people, they walking around, everybody walking around. No, I would not stand in front of my house and stop invaders to enter my property with a shotgun. In real life, I tell invaders to go to Pelosi's house and live on her land. That's funny. That's funny. That's funny. So y'all get my point. That was what I wanted to talk about in this cast, y'all. I don't want y'all to miss out on anything pertinent. I think I've touched on what I want to touch on, and that's that. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Don't forget to hit that like button. Don't forget to hit that notification bell. Don't forget to check out my Teespring. That shit jumping. And I'll probably put up a new shirt probably about a weekend. I got a new shirt I'll put up for the Defend Black People at All Costs t-shirt, because, you know, we have white supremacists in the world who think they can just kill black people and who think that they can attack black people and nothing happened to them. Well, we have to show them that, nah, you know, so the shirt is only for the about it. You got to be about it. You can't be no clown, right? So we got to show them that. And that's that. And I'm going to get at y'all.